welcome to the final Crafternoon of 2021. I almost said 2022. I'm already getting ready for next year, apparently, in my brain. But yes, the final Crafternoon for tweens of 2021. And I'm going to show you how to DIY some Christmassy things for yourselves today. To give, to keep, whichever you like. Now the first one, I am not going to actually show you how to make them. I'm going to show you what I make, and then I want you to use them as inspiration. I have made some little face masks, but not the kind that we have to wear around each other still. We're just talking this type. So, this is Mrs. Claus. Did you know that if you pull a cotton ball very gently apart and just kind of fold it in half, it turns into cute little curls? I discovered that when I was trying to fill out her hair. Yeah, so pipe cleaners, cotton balls, pom-poms, some colored paper, a giant stick, and a paper plate. And I made a cute little Mrs. Claus. Maybe you're gonna have a photo booth at your Christmas party. Are you having a Christmas party? I don't know. We're still in that weird state where it's like, I guess we can get together, but also maybe we shouldn't. Who knows? So, if you are, and you want to make some sort of props, here's some inspo. We've got Mrs. Claus and Santa with his little rosy cheeks and rosy nose, and Frosty, who is of course much bigger, but he is also the most simple of these, if you'd like to duplicate what I've done. But again, these are just inspiration. Maybe you want to make Rudolph. I don't know how you do the red nose. Maybe some fishing wire? That's what I did with Mrs. Claus's glasses. I hot glued some fishing wire to the back of them after I made them out of a pipe cleaner, and then taped them to the back. The back is very messy, but that's okay. This is the part that you're supposed to see. Yes, I have turned into Mrs. Claus. So that's my first suggestion. My second suggestion is these cute water resist ornaments. So, what you need for these is some sort of heavier paper, cardstock, or these circles I cut out of a Christmas tree cake box because I love them. I love them so much. And so they're nice and thick. Downside, on the back it does have, Little Debbie and part of Santa. Just kind of disconcerting. But this is the side you want, the empty side. Or, I happened to get in the mail this sort of mailing package. Oh, nope. Cover my address. Sorry, guys. Personal information. Yeah, and this is great. So it made the ornament a little darker, as you can see, compared to this one is made with Christmas tree cake, and this one is made with this packing container. But it also didn't. The one I made with the Christmas tree warped a little. You can see it's kind of going like this. The one I made with the packing container did not really warp very much. And it's just white on the back. I did kind of rip it, so oops. But it looks nicer on the back. Now, so some sort of papery thing. I cut out circles because I thought that was a nice snowflake shape, but you could do whatever you want. So I've got some pre-cut circles. I'm gonna take, no, that one feels sticky on the back. I'm gonna use this one. Get those out of the way. And you need a white crayon. It really needs to be a crayon, maybe an oil pastel if you happen to have that, but you're much more likely to have a white crayon at home than oil pastels. So, get your white crayon. The other perk of the cardboard-esque material is that you're gonna be able to see what you're drawing. It is kind of fun. It's a fun surprise to find your final illustration after you use your watercolors, because that's the next step. But it also makes it much more difficult to see what you're doing as you're doing it. So, I'm going to take my white crayon. I'm going to use this I'm going to draw an approximation of a snowflake, we'll say. So I'm gonna do that. Ooh, I got my glue gun going for the next two ornaments and I can smell it. It is ready. Alright, I'm gonna start with crisscross, and then I'm gonna add another line through that. That is not through the middle, but that's okay. And I'm gonna make it look kind of like a spider web, maybe more than an ornament, or more than a snowflake, but that's okay. So I'm gonna attach my little snowflakes are symmetrical, and then I'll do straight lines through there. And some little lines across the top of it to make it a little less spiderweb, a little more snowflake. So this is what I have right now. I've just got my board, I've got my white crayon. It's probably pretty hard to see on here. You can kind of see it. And that's it. Now, almost final step. This is the fun step. We're gonna get out our little watercolors. You can use pretty much anything. I did my first two with blue and purple, which turned out real pretty, I think. They feel like very seasonal colors to me. Let's see, I'm going to go with, I think, let's do black, because, you know, why not? So, I wet my, my paintbrush and my little cup of water there, and get my watercolors nice and wet, not too wet, but enough that I get color, and then I'm going to just start painting away. And that is, I think, a dark green, not black. But, you know, that's okay. And then, if you're doing this at home, you will notice that as you paint, the crayon, the paint is not attaching to the crayon. Alright. Let's get those out of the way. And, what do you know? My snowflake pattern is super visible now. So, final step. Take your hole punch or some other cutting device to make a hole. I'm gonna pop right there in the top. And I'm just using plain, like, super cheap curling ribbon. I like to fold it over so it kind of forms a loop. Go in with both strings through the back, and then you can pull those up through this loop. And that is nice. And then you can take these two, twist it around your finger, make a nice knot, and then this will hang very nicely on the edge of a Christmas tree branch. Sometimes when you're tying knots on ornaments, they end up going sideways. It looks kind of funny. This way, they end up nice and straight. So, those are some watercolor resist ornaments. So we are down 2 of our 4 items. I'm gonna move on to these super cute little Rudolph ornaments, which hopefully you can see. Hopefully that helps. So, Rudolph here is pretty simple. Pardon me while I take off my sweater. I am very hot-natured. Get off. Alright, and let's get my hair out of the way. Safety first with using glue guns. Speaking of safety first, I'm gonna use these funny-looking little fingertip protectors that I got for super cheap at, like, I think the Dollar Tree. These are great. They are to help you not burn yourself. Now, like I said, I've got this going. This is nice and stinky. Stay there. I've got my extra glue stick just in case. Now, I am going to start. Whoa! Get off me. I'm going to use my little clothespins, and I have a little tiny disc of wood. I'm going to decide where I want Rudolph's antlers to go. Let's see. This hunk of wood is kind of a little oblong. It's a little wider than it is tall, or taller than wide, depending on how you hold it. I think I like that. So I'm going to leave those there for now. And my next step is to get my glue gun. I'm going to do his nose first. So, I'm going to use my nice sparkly red pom-pom. Just take a tiny dollop of glue and stick that right there. And I can push down without getting burned because of my cute little silicone fingertip protectors. I'm going to try this the other way and put a little dollop of glue on there. Pick up my little eye with my finger, drop it, and then smush it with my glue gun. Oh yes, that, I don't know, that worked way better. Yeah. So now I've got him. You don't have to, but I am going to go ahead and glue down his clothespin antlers just to make sure they stay. Again, I'm going to put a little dollop of glue about where I wanted that. Open that back up, stick it on there, and that should just kind of keep itself in place. So let's get that one in here. Fold it away from the glue. Get on there, straighten them out. Smish. Alright, so we have got Rudolph. Now we just need his little hanging strip. I did discover upon making my sample that the high temp glue gun will absolutely melt this ribbon. So that was fun. So again, I am going to hang it so that it ends up like this, hanging. So I want my ribbon to overlap. So I am going to attempt to glue down this side first, just down the center, and I do want to make sure that I get it all the way down, or else it won't hang quite right. It'll hang a little, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It'll hang forward, so he'll kind of like flop like this, which we don't want. We want him to hang like this, not this. So we'll get that glue in there. All right. We worked fast. We didn't burn it. There wasn't too much glue. Now, we're gonna loop it and glue down on this other side. Get on there. Smush, 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 smush. Again, do not smush with just your bare fingers. Either use some sort of silicone finger grippy things, or use like a stick or a chopstick. Yeah, a chopstick works very well for smushing hot glue, because then you don't burn yourself. Let's see. Now he's done. Well, he's hanging a little forward, which we don't love, but that's okay. Once he's in the tree, he'll look better. But yeah, so we've got our cute little Rudolph. And he is ready to go. Maybe you want him for yourself, or maybe you want to give him to a friend, or parent, teacher, other loved one. It's up to you. Now, final craft, and this is going to be the long one, so bear with me. I am going to teach you how to make this delightful gnome ornament. I'm quite pleased with this gnome. He makes me very happy. So, we are going to start with a piece of cardboard as our base. I'm going to take my little finger protectors off here real quick. So, this is a teardrop. This is actually, Miss Yolanda and Ms. Roseanne told me they did this craft last year after I was planning on making them. But that's okay. They had leftover cardboard for me. And I don't even know if you remember it from last year, so it's alright. So, you want it to either be a triangle, or this is kind of like a raindrop, a tear shape. But the pointy triangle tip is the most important bit. And then we are going to get, I'm using felt. You want some sort of fabric-y material. You could very well just, measure and cut. I'm just going to hold my little teardrop up. Not quite, I want a little bit of overlap around the sides. So then I am just going to cut my felt out. Alright, we're going to need that again later. Hold that there. Alright, now I'm going to get my little finger protectors on because I'm definitely going to need them for this step. I actually burnt my finger making the original gnome because I wasn't wearing these. So, yeah, it's great. Okay, I'm gonna put hot glue on the cardboard and then put the felt on top. That seems like the smartest way. So, I'm gonna get lots of glue and going to set that right on top. Let's make sure it is at a good place, and it is not, so let's move it while the glue is still warm. Alright, there we go. Smush, 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 smush. Okay, now we are going to take the edges and fold them over and glue them down. So I'm going to put a line of glue on the edge of the cardboard, and I'm going to do one at a time so the glue doesn't dry, harden up on me. Over, and let's do it again. Right on the edge. And smushed. Okay, now I want, whew, I got fuzzy stuff. Okay, I want this to look a little more like this. I want it a little more straight. I'm gonna trim it up a little. You do want kind of a curve. It is much more curved. It's starting to look like a wizard hat, which is not what we're going for, but that's okay. I think we can make it work. All right. Now we're going to take some yarn, and this is just a little pre-bundled thing of yarn here, which is actually perfect because you are going to want, there's that yarn end. I don't think it matters. Ah, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna untangle this because I don't know what's going on here. The best way to do this is kind of wrap it around your hand, or maybe a friend's hand, maybe a parent, guardian, babysitter, neighbor, or somebody. Depending on how, oops, I got a knot. So let's get that out of there. Depending on how long you want your gnome's beard to be. Oh, that's better. Now, I'm going to hold it in the center, and I'm going to cut it like I'm making a pom-pom. Except obviously that's not what I'm doing. And I'm going to turn it around and cut all of those edges. I think I got them all. Yeah. Alright, so now I have got quite a lot of fluffy beard strings. So, I'm going to put my little squishy finger protectors back on, and I'm going to start gluing his beard on. Let's go. We're going to glue it onto the back, squish it down, and you're just going to kind of keep layering it until you're happy with with this beard. Alright, that's a lot of hot glue. Alright, let's see. I think, yeah, that's much more full. I prefer that. Alright, so, while we're waiting on that to dry a little more, because that's still very wet and warm, I'm gonna get out some of this baker's twine. I used this pretty ribbon on my other gnome, that's the word, but I want to use this as a detail on this gnome, which is the thing I forgot, but it's okay because we haven't finished the gnome yet. So I'm gonna get out some blue twine. Let's see if I can find the end. That's gonna be the trick. Just had to pull it and get it untangled. What is happening? Yeah, okay, there we go. So, I don't know, this long, I guess? It didn't really. Depends on how long you want your string to be. So, I'm gonna, that's actually quite long. That seems like a more appropriate thing. I go ahead and just tie that so that I know what I said. Alright. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna glue that to the back side. We'll get my little finger protectors back on. That was probably way too much glue. My bad. So that string's not going anywhere. Alright, now just a tiny bit left and we are almost done with our gnome. Aha. Okay, so, oh, that's very heavy. Okay, so like I said, I want this to be the pretty ribbon. Yep, that's we're gonna go with ribbon on his head. His hat. Alright. Whew. That is a lot of hot glue. So gonna have to work cautiously here. I think I have an extra plate under here. Yes, I do. Perfect. I'm going to gently keep that from touching the table, because that hot glue is definitely gonna mess that up otherwise. Alright, I'm gonna take it, let's see, there's some funky bits and mess up bits. I'm going to glue my hat like about, I don't know, that. So I'm actually gonna start on the back now that I know about my placement. I'm gonna glue down one side of this ribbon. I'm going to trim it. Alright. Then I'm gonna go around to the front and I'm gonna strategically glue it down in just a few places, because this is white and I don't want it to show through, but I do want it to stay in a specific place. A little more glue. Oh! Glue. Stay. Almost. And then we can go ahead and trim that before I glue it down. And get some glue on the back there. And stick her down. Okay. So, we are almost done. Now, we have just got 3 more little pieces to do. I'm going to take this little brown pom-pom and I'm going to glue it right underneath here so that it looks like his nose is poking right out of his hat. So, gonna be kind of on the hat and kind of on his beard. Smoosh. Glue gun, come on, please work with me. Be kind. Yeah, so there's his nose poking out. Alright, and I is going to have a big sparkly pom-pom on the top of the hat. So I'm going to glue that down. No, glue gun, I need you to absolutely stay on the table. Alright, and now we just need to cover up this big ol' mess on the back. So I'm going to take my finger protectors off. I'm going to go in at the other corner, and let's see, I think the easiest way will be to put this on top and kind of trim around. And then cut that off. Alright. That out of there, and what I want to do, and I didn't do the first time, but I think this will make it look much nicer. Let's make sure. Okay, let's see. Let's trim that up a bit now that I can kind of see. Don't need that. Make that a little more straight. Okay, much better. Now you're going to take the glue and put it along the edge of the hat like we did before. But this piece is a little bit bigger than the back, so I want to put it down kind of like this. And then we're going to fold it over, and then, I mean, there's some glue there, but that's okay. Now it is a nice finished edge. And we're going to attempt to do the same thing on the other side. Ah, something in my mouth, sorry. Alright, which is going to be a little more complicated because it's going to involve gluing and then turning our felt and then tucking. But I think we can do it. And again, I think it will make it look much nicer than the edge on my first gnome. So let's try and tuck. And push. Tuck and push. Tuck and push. Okay. So, smush, smush, smush. Oh, I got glue on the back. That's okay, you can kind of like defuzz your felt. Once your little gnome is completely dry, you can go in and like trim off the little glue bits if you want. And depending on how your gnome's beard turned out, I'm gonna trim some in the from that there. Just a little there. I think. Let's see. Does he look okay from the front? Okay. Yeah, there we go. We've got another super cute little gnome. So, I have given you a number of options today for crafts you can make. You can give, keep, whatever you'd like. I hope you enjoyed. If you make any of these, please come and show me. Let me know. I'd love to see them. And I will see you all next year. Mary Lou and I will be picking up book bites in February. Until then, guys, bye!